Welcome back, ARK players, to a brand new video. Now today I'm going to keep you up to date with everything that has been going on with ARK after the launch of Valguero Ascended. Now, don't you think, guys, hear me out for a second, when Valguero Ascended first launched, it was actually quite smooth. Just hear me out. Hear me out for just this 1 second. I had obviously released a bunch of, the Valguero Ascended servers over on the LoadedCrysis cluster, and if you want to come and join us, for it's an amazing community. The link to our Discord is down below, completely free. 100 slot servers, and it was such an amazing experience for like the best launch experience I have had ever, and all the players were agreeing. There was a few issues, but it was the smoothest one we've experienced. Then Wildcard ran into a bit of an issue. They released a patch, and everything just went to, like, just broke apart. And I was just like, no, like, transfers were affected. So much stuff was affected, and I just thought, how can you just keep ruining such a good thing? Anyway, so I'm going to go through all of the stuff. I understand that, they run into an issue and somewhere, and they have to fix it, and I get it, but it's so frustrating when it's running so nicely for the entire day, and then it just starts to break again. But anyway, if you guys do enjoy today's video, drop a like, subscribe. We're going to go through all of the news, and let's get in with it. If you're looking to get yourself a Nitrado server and you want yourself a 10% discount, you can use the code LOADEDValguero, all one word, and that will get you 10% off a brand new Nitrado server. This offer will end on the 8th of November, and there's only 50 usages of this code available. Every single time I always say to Nitrado, can you get me a little discount for this? And, so I can give it to the players. And always they do seem to deliver on that. So very, very grateful to them. But as I said, Loaded Valguero, all one word, will get you 10% off your server. Thank you very much. So as you can see, Dolly said, hey folks, we are aware of a crash issue affecting a number of servers. The team has identified the cause and is currently preparing a hotfix for deployment as soon as possible. Until the update goes live, some affected servers may appear offline. Anyway, that happened, and then Dolly said, hey guys, the build with the crash fix has passed, and we're now preparing a full network redeployment, which will begin in about 15 minutes. Your server may take a while to pop up, depending on its save file size, so please be patient. If you have a chunky server, it can take over 30 minutes. If your server was offline during this period, your stuff should be safe. Thank you for your patience as the team worked through this, and sorry for the disruption to your playtime. Now, again, there's been all types of issues. I always find, like, whenever this stuff happens, I always find, like, some ARK players have the same issues, but then a brand new issue can appear with an ARK player that you've never seen before, and you think, how is this even possible? And unfortunately, new ones pop out every single time, and people have lost stuff, and it's very, very frustrating. I know some people wake up back onto the game again after an update, and their whole inventory's gone, things like that. And of course, as well, throughout this stuff, transfers have been affected. I mean, how many times in your life have you tried to transfer to another server, guys, and your character gets deleted? I'm sure there is a huge amount of you in the comments that are going to say, yep, I have had this, and not just once, multiple times. Then there was an update from Dolly. Many servers are now coming back online, and others after a manual rebooting. Unfortunately, in some cases, we've had to perform a short rollback due to save corruption caused by the earlier crashing issue. For those seeing longer rollback times, please note it reflects the time since the last save, not necessarily in-game progress, as some servers weren't running good for a part of that period. Now, they always go on about their official servers, but unofficials affected as well, like, in the sense of, save file corruptions. There's so many times where you have to perform your own rollback because the whole file corrupts, and sometimes that rollback, you only get a save. Like, even if you have backup saves, you might only be able to have backup saves to a certain amount of time, and that could be a couple of hours, and it's one of the most frustrating things to have to deal with. I hate rollbacks. It's been a thing that's been going on for years. I've understood, like, back in the ASE days, when you've had to go through a rollback because it's fixed a bigger issue. But it's really, really sad to see rollbacks. Like, it's a lot rarer these days, but they still happen, and it's a real shame when that has to happen. But anyway, the crash fix finally went live, which is what people wanted to see. And there has been some other bits which has been launched with this new update as well. So they dropped an update, which was the performance improvement, which I think this was the patch. This version 7319 was the patch that ruined things. And it was meant to be for a performance improvement, reduced log spam, and they fixed a couple of crashes, which I guess is clearly something they needed to do. But ever since that patch, it just, you know, it was really wobbly yesterday. And I'm hoping today we're going to start to see a little bit more of a smoother experience. Because, being honest, what's your thoughts on Valguero Ascended? Like, I generally think it's actually a really, really nice map. I wasn't as hyped as maybe like Rag or, you know, and maybe even Extinction, because it was the map that I played on the least out of all of them. But it's really nice to have a brand new map. It's got some awesome new creatures. I do like the Mega Raptor. I don't feel like it's as great as I thought it was going to be. I still think it's really fun, but for some reason I thought it was going to be bigger, and I thought it was going to be a little bit more scary, but maybe, I guess the boss, if you guys have fought the new boss, that is quite a scary boss, and perfect for Fear Ascended. But anyway, so let's get through the final bits of the pack. So they also had a fix for a crash when loading into single player or multiplayer maps with an improved gene scanner installed, and implemented a temporary fix to avoid a crash caused by the Dino Finder mod until the underlying issue is resolved. Now, this happens with a lot of dino mods. A lot, like, it, you know, basically these types of mods, one of the most frustrating things, if you run your own server, you know, anything like that, whatever you play on, if you run your own server, it can be, you know, quite a frustrating thing, because you know, you could have a mod which unluckily is the one that decides to have the issues, and then that keeps your server down. And yeah, it is one of the most frustrating things ever, but hopefully this will get sorted, because, you know, at the same time as well, the mod is not the mod creator's fault. It's an issue with a patch that goes out which doesn't like the mod for some reason, and then they have to work to find out where that issue is and why that mod's not working, and sometimes that can take some time. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much everything you need to know with what's been going on over the last day. You know, what do you think as well about the new wild creatures that can spawn with babies? The full list was here. Obviously, as well, the Spring Drakelin's health regeneration buff was nerfed, which was massive. And someone actually said to me they had a feeling this was coming, and they were hoping that Wildcard weren't going to notice, and unfortunately they did. Yeah, and also apparently the clipboard and hammer, some people are saying, are having issues with. So unfortunately, as much as things get fixed, I always find with ARK updates, they like fix an issue and then another issue comes. So it's like you kind of fix one. It's like putting, I need to think of something in my head. What's it like when Wildcard release a patch? This is where it gets easier when you're live streaming. It's like putting, it's like having a bit of wood, you know, like a seesaw, and then like one side Wildcard put a really heavy ball down or boulder on top of one side of the seesaw, and the other one rises, and then Wildcard put an even bigger boulder on the other side, and then the other side rises again, and it's probably not the best thing, but it's, you guys know where I'm coming from. Yeah, that seems the way things happen, and they just have to get to things slowly but surely, anyone that has been obviously affected by any of these issues, I am extremely sorry, and hopefully over the next couple of days things will get a bit smoother. But anyway, guys, it's the golden rule in the world of ARK, and, you know, it shouldn't be the golden rule, but everyone knows if you plan to play a DLC on day one for ARK Survival, you know that you're going to expect issues. It's the 24-hour golden rule. Whenever a DLC, we always want to all play it on the day. We always do. But in that 24 hours, there is a chance you could lose a character. You could, through transfers going wrong, you could you lose your inventory. You could randomly lose a dino. You know, there's so many different things like that that just can happen in the first 24 to 48 hours of a DLC launch. And we're crazy when it comes to this, because a lot of people, some people wait, but most of us want to dive in straight away because we want to see the new map, we want to see the new creatures. You know, of course, that's what a launch is for. But unfortunately, it's kind of the golden rule, as I said, that these issues happen, and that's unfortunately what we have to deal with. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. Lots of stuff obviously coming up in the sense of I'm going to be covering all of the different patches that go live, as well as soon in the next sort of, I'm guessing, this weekend is the 11th, Friday the 10th. So either this week, tomorrow's Community Crunch or next week's Community Crunch should have info on Fear Ascended, because that's what we'll be having and exploring on the world of Valguero Ascended is the Halloween events. And yeah, that's what's going to be going on there. So really looking forward to the Halloween event. It's nice to have a, content-packed October, considering it's been a while since the last one. And then after that, we've got Lost Colony to look forward to. So yeah, anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.